Hello and thanks for joining me for another very brief lockdown diaries. I'm just down at the river that's right next door to my house, and there's an image here I've actually had in mind for quite some time. Before I tell you about what I've been up to here, just as I was walking down the little lane from the house, I noticed that there's this absolutely glorious arch of Mayflower, and it really doesn't last very long, but right now it's absolutely at its peak. And then alongside the path on each side was this beautiful carpet of cuckoo flower. Anyway, this particular shot here that I've been working on, and it's actually quite technical, as you'll find out. It's a shot that I've had in mind for several years, and as with quite a few of the shots that I've been taking during the lockdown period, it's one that I hadn't got round to because other more interesting locations were available to me. But actually this is a really nice shot, and it's very specific to this time of year because we've got this beautiful conjunction of the yellow gorse flower and the white mayflower on either side of this little bit of river, and the mayflower is right at its peak. The gorse lasts quite a lot longer, but the mayflower very soon will be turning into full leaf and all that colour will go. This particular shot that I have in mind takes advantage of this lovely smooth glide of water I've got up here about 30 metres in front of me. And because of the angle of the sun at the moment, which is at about 45 degrees over my left shoulder, the reflections of these flowers are being seen nicely in the dark pool, and that's exactly what I was after. Now it's late afternoon and I've chosen a very specific time of day on a nice bright sunny day, and the reason for that is I wanted these flowers really brightly lit. I don't want to be waiting for the sun to come in and out behind clouds. I don't care about the blue sky because it's not in my shot at all, but I wanted the flowers of the gorse and the mayflower absolutely brightly lit. But what I didn't want was the sunlight to be pointing straight in at them and then taking out the shadows that I currently have. So by waiting for the sun to come round this way, I've now got layers of shadow in the image, and it enhances the depth. Without that, it would be much more difficult to give that sense of depth. Now I'm shooting at somewhere around 12mm, but I'll probably crop in a little. So that gets me this lovely little row of boulders in the foreground with lots of lovely wet moss on them. Lots of little angles of sunlight catching the riffle as it runs down through here. So I'm going to focus stack it, and my first shot down here is shot with a 6-stop filter, which gets me a shutter speed of about 1.5 seconds. I've also got a graduated filter on to control the highlights in that grassy patch that's to the right of the gorse, and I can't really do much about that, so I'll kind of take your eye away from that in post with the assistance of my grad filter. Also, of course, as you can imagine, with flowing water, I'm using my polarizer, but I'm not using the polarizer at full power because with it having no effect at all, I've got lots of sheen on the water, which I don't want, but I don't want to take all the sheen off the water because then when I have my long shutter speed, I haven't got anything to create the glossy movement that I'm looking for. So I do want a bit of sunlight reflecting off it that I can work with on that, because I haven't got any white water to work with. For the upper part of the shot, which I will focus stack because I focused on one of the stones and I focused in the midground, but for that I've taken the 6-stop filter out, and the reason for that is there is a little bit of breeze and some of these Junkia soft reeds on the edge of the bank are just blowing around a bit, and I wanted to be able to freeze those with a faster shutter speed. So my shutter speed for that is about to 60th, something like that. That's enough to stop those from moving around. But yeah, the key thing for this, for me, is this foreground of movement and motion and the stream having some vibrancy to it, and then that soft, smooth glide in the background with the beautiful colours reflecting from both sides in the dark water. And that's me all done for today. Just this one shot, quite a technical exposure, and there'll be some work to do in post to bring it all together. But thank you ever so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, why not subscribe now and join me next time. Cheers.